Hi, good morning. Okay, today we are going to discuss about nerve cells. Nerve cells can be called as neuron. They are the structure and functional unit of nervous system. So we can tell that the nervous system is the one which helps us in carrying, control and coordination. So actually it has got a cell body. It is called cyton and it contains nucleus and cytoplasm. It has several branch structure called dendrites. It has a long nerve fibers called axon, which is covered by a protective sheath or covering we call myelin sheath. The junction between two neurons is called synapse. There is a space between the synapse, okay, which ends in another axon. So it is actually connected from one to another so that it can pass messages or impulses. So once again, there is a space at synapse between the end of axon of first neuron and the cell body, and this is called synaptic cleft. Then the messages pass through the nerve cell in the form of chemicals actually, but it is converted into electrical signals and it is called what we call the nerve impulse. Actually, the dendrites receive the information and starts a chemical reaction which produces an electric impulse and passes through the axon. Children, remember this once again. The dendrites receives the information and starts a chemical reaction which produces an electric impulse and passes through the axon. When the impulses reach the end of the axon of the first neuron, a neurotransmitter, it's nothing, it's a chemical substance. A neurotransmitter is a chemical substance which is released in the synaptic cleft of synapse, which is the one responsible for passages of nerve impulse from one neuron to the next neuron. Then here you can see now the diagram of a neuron. See the parts: dendrites, nucleus, cell body, axon terminal from where which the another one is connected or pass, then Schwann cells, myelin sheath. Okay, actually nodes of Ranvier. That is the one which is, we'll have nodes of Ranvier is the one which helps in speed propagation of an action, and Schwann cells, my dear children, support the nerve regeneration. Schwann cells support the nerve regeneration. So this is about the what you call the diagram which looks like, and I tell you all to draw this diagram in your notebook and practice it. Okay. Now, what does synapse do? Actually, it has got many functions. Number one, it allows the information to pass from one neuron to another. Second, it ensures the passage of nerve impulses in one direction only. See? Then the third one, it helps in information passing by combining the effects of all the impulses received. Fourth, it filters out low level stimuli. The stimuli which is not at all need to be paid attention will be filtered out. I mean, it will not be passed out, right? So it has got four this functions, or what you can say that what does synapse do. Now On the previous slide in video, we have discussed about central nervous system, that is brain and spinal cord. Brain. Human brain weighs about 1200 to 1400 grams, that is in an adult. It is protected by cranium. In the diagram I have pointed out, go through it. It is covered by three membranes called meninges, which is filled with a fluid called cerebrospinal fluid. So my dear children, meninges is filled with cerebrospinal fluid. Actually, the cerebrospinal fluid protects the brain from shocks. And I hope you have discussed about the spinal cord before or mentioned. The spinal cord is protected by vertebral column, that is the backbone. See now here in this slide, you can see the parts of brain: cerebrum, cranium, midbrain, the forebrain, hypothalamus, pituitary gland. Hindbrain consists of pons, medulla, cerebellum, and see how the spinal cord goes. My dear children, practice this diagram at home. That's very important. Now, let us discuss about the parts of brain. The brain has three main parts: forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain or hindbrain. Forebrain. It consists of cerebrum and olfactory lobes. It is the thinking part of brain which controls voluntary actions. Voluntary actions means actions which are carried out with a will and wish. It controls mental activities like thinking, learning, memory, emotions, etc. And touch, smell, hearing, taste, sight are olfactory lobes. I'm responsible, and this is generated from there. The second part is midbrain. It connects forebrain and hindbrain. It controls involuntary actions and reflexes. Like involuntary means the actions which are not in our control, like movement of head, neck, eyes, ear, etc. Then hindbrain. Hindbrain connects the forebrain and hindbrain itself. It consists of cerebellum, pons, and medulla. Let us see one by one. Cerebellum. It controls body muscular movement, balance, and posture. Suppose a drunkard is walking in a zigzag manner. Now you might have understood which part of the brain is affected. Pons. It acts as a bridge between brain and spinal cord. It also controls respiration. Medulla. It controls involuntary actions like heartbeat, blood pressure, swallowing, coughing, sneezing, vomiting, etc. Children, all these parts are equally important because in the exam you can expect such questions like a man has drunken and he is walking in a zigzag manner. Which part of the brain is affected? And I hope you know what is the answer for that. Yeah. The next part is hypothalamus. It is a region of the forebrain below the thalamus, which coordinates both the autonomic nervous system and the activity of pituitary, controlling body temperature, thirst, hunger, and other homeostatic systems, and involved in sleep and emotional activities. The next comes pituitary gland. It is a major endocrine gland, a pea-sized body. Its size is very small. It is attached to the base of the brain. It is important in controlling growth and development and functioning of other endocrine glands. So we can call the pituitary glands as master glands. So this week only this much is enough, and I'll be uploading a worksheet along with this. Do it and revert me back. Thank you, children.